Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Howard on Sports. My name is Howard. Obviously, this looks a little different than most of my videos, so let me explain. This is my sister Heidi,
Hello.
and I am over her house today to celebrate Thanksgiving. So, what does my sister have to do with sports? Well, it's very indirectly. My sister is a yoga instructor, not full time, although maybe someday, but right. But she is a yoga instructor. And just a quick example of two very famous athletes who use yoga, LeBron James and Tom Brady. So yoga definitely has a tie in with sports. Obviously, flexibility and frame of mind, and you know, just being in the right state to succeed in sports. Yoga definitely can help with that. And so we are going to talk a little bit about yoga today. So let's do it. Okay, so yoga. I guess the first thing would be when did you get interested in yoga? How did you
Yeah.
get interested in yoga?
So for me, it began about 15 years ago, and it was really pure physical. It was purely physical. I was experiencing some severe back pain. I don't know if you remember, I wound up having to get some cortisone shots in
Yes.
my back.
Yeah.
I had physical therapy. And after all that, my doctor had said to me, you might want to try yoga. It couldn't hurt. So I said, sure. And so initially it was really about strengthening my core and becoming physically stronger. And that was fantastic. But over time, as I practiced yoga, I noticed that there were other benefits, and I just felt calmer and just more in tune to myself. So I really started to love yoga for some of the non physical reasons. And then fast forward, as I get closer to retirement from my real job,
Mm.
I said, what do I want to do? After retirement. And I kind of put the two together and I did my 200-hour training. And here I am. I finished that about 6 months ago, and I've been teaching yoga about once or twice a week since then.
Okay.
And I love it.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. So there's a couple more questions. Um, so do you at this point are you still nervous when you teach a class?
I think there's always a little bit of that, but I definitely feel like I'm coming more into my own and getting more comfortable. I mean, I think this is my personality. I do tend to get a little nervous and in my head.
You're always prepared though. I know that.
Yes,
You
I
definitely
always
prepare.
like to prepare beforehand and practice the class and write it out, make sure it all flows. But no, I definitely feel like I'm getting more comfortable.
Okay, good. Um, I would say is there any if you're going to describe the people who are in your class, is there any particular age group or any demographic that stands out, or very random? Would you say?
Very diverse, from younger people to people my age and older. So I'd say it's diverse. Yoga is for everybody. I
Okay.
think that anyone can benefit.
So even your brother, who's extremely inflexible.
Yes, because how are you going to get flexible if you don't try things like yoga?
But is there a risk in going into it too fast? Can you injure
Yes.
yourself?
You need to respect, everyone has to respect their own bodies, their own anatomies, and take it slowly. And I do want to just emphasize, yoga is not just about the physical postures, right? That's called the asana. Yoga, you can sit there and meditate. That's yoga. You can focus on your breath and let the breath calm you. That's yoga. So really the physical part of it is such a small piece of it, and you can benefit from all parts of yoga.
Okay. Is there, I mean, we're not going to demonstrate here. Is there a particular exercise that you enjoy the most, like your go-to for you personally?
Yeah.
Or
It's called an asana or a posture.
Okay, okay.
No, there's a lot of. I just did a class where we focused on, because it's Thanksgiving, so my theme was around traditions, and there are certain poses that are more traditional that I think everyone knows. Downward facing dog,
Mhm.
or sun salutation. So there are certain, postures that we do again and again, and then always end the class laying on the mat, feet separated,
Mm-hmm.
arms at our sides, closing the eyes, shavasana, which literally means corpse pose, but just
Okay.
letting everything go and enjoying the benefits of the practice.
Nice. I guess my last question would be, so to me, maybe you don't have the answer to this, but in relating it to sports, it definitely seems that yoga would be useful before an athletic contest. What about after? Is there like such a thing as warm down and warm?
Well, yeah, a yoga class typically follows a certain flow. So you begin closing the eyes, just letting the body settle, letting go of everything that came before that moment. So you spend a few moments there, just letting the breath anchor you. And then we do some warm ups and stretches, just kind of loosening the body a little. And then you get into more of the I'll call them like vinyasa, flow poses, and then yes, then you come back down to the mat and start to cool off, and then as I said before, you end the class in shavasana.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so much, Heidi, for doing this interview and sharing your knowledge with my vast audience of, I don't know, 5, 10 people. So,
Namaste.
namaste. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye bye.